My name is Carol Malasig and we're here at Almost Diplomatic.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Carol. I'm a freelance lifestyle journalist and content creator currently based here in Tokyo, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that is very dear to my heart, and that is beauty treatments. What are some of the things that I get done to keep my skin looking youthful and glowing? I'm sure you've seen celebrities and content creators talk about their skincare routines on the internet. Some even claim that they're all natural. Some are true, some are not so true. And today I want to show you my approach to this kind of thing. Why I choose to get treatments like Ultherapy, lasers, facials, and a few tasteful injections here and there. Personally, my approach is not about changing my appearance, but rather slowing down the aging process as much as I can. After all, I'm Danish and Filipino, which means that I did get my Danish dad's skin, and that means I'm more susceptible to early signs of aging. And before we get started, I just want to preface all of this by saying that there is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to change your appearance as long as it is your decision. And there's also nothing wrong with not wanting any type of treatment. It's all about what makes you feel most comfortable. And so for me, it's all about preserving what I already have and giving my skin a little boost to keep it looking its best. So first, let's start with Ultherapy, especially because it's the treatment that I get asked about the most. Ultherapy is a non-invasive ultrasound treatment that stimulates collagen production and lifts the skin naturally. So it's basically a non-surgical facelift. And I do it once a year. I usually go to Skin 101 for this treatment in Manila because Dr. Jennie and Dr. Oliver know my skin by heart by now. And they do such an amazing job. I wouldn't say that Ulthera is painful. I would say that it does give you some discomfort. So I do ask for Arcoxia, which is an oral painkiller, 30 minutes before the treatment. So make sure that you take it beforehand and give it time to kick in before you start, especially if you have low pain tolerance, because I do have higher pain tolerance. I have tattoos and all, so it makes sense. There was a time when I've tried doing Ulthera before the Arcoxia has kicked in and I felt its full effect. I would say it's uncomfortable, but nothing that you cannot tolerate. And there's totally nothing wrong with asking a little bit of help when it comes to the discomfort. So just ask for it. You can also ask for the topical anesthesia called EMLA. And so here's the thing with Ultherapy. You're not going to see results overnight. The magic really does happen on the 3rd month after getting the treatment, which for me is right about now. The last time I got Ultherapy was towards the end of October, and we are now in mid-January of 2025. And I am personally loving the effects on my skin. For me, the best part is how natural the effects look, because it's basically just telling your skin to produce more collagen the way it would back when you were much younger. After all, as we age, collagen production goes down and our skin needs to be reminded that, hey, you need to make more of that. With Ultherapy, no one will look at me and say like, hey, you just got a facelift done, didn't you? Nobody, because it looks utterly natural. However, most people will come up to me and say that they notice that my skin looks much more refreshed and contoured, or as the younger people would say, snatched. Of course, there are other treatments in the market, other machines that are available that promise some lifting and contouring. However, the difference is with Ultherapy, ultrasound is delivered much deeper into the tissue, which means that it is much more effective and the results last much longer, which is why I only do this once a year. That's all I need. Some of these other machines, you need to do them every 3 months, every month or so, which means that the price also adds up. So with Ultherapy, you get less maintenance. It's just a once a year thing, and then you get to love the results. I love how Ultherapy makes me look and feel, which is why I've been doing it once a year to maintain my skin's elasticity. Next up is Botulinum Toxin, or what a lot of people would call Botox, but did you know that that's actually a brand name? I get these injections for 2 main reasons every 6 months, and the first one is for my temporomandibular joint disorder, or TMJ, and of course for preventive wrinkle treatment. I'm quite lucky that I still don't have a lot of deep-seated wrinkles at the ripe old age of my mid-30s. And that's because I've been trying my best to take care of my skin. I wear a lot of sunscreen, I use moisturizers, and I've been doing preventive treatments like this one. For my TMJ, it actually relaxes my masseter muscles right here and stops me from fully clenching. Because I've tried everything. I've tried the mouth guards, I've tried all the other exercises, the face massages and all that, but somehow my jaw just tends to clench a lot and it gives me a headache and it grinds down my teeth. I grind my teeth every night as well. So my teeth are getting smaller, especially at the back. And botulinum toxin has been extremely helpful with that. On my last trip to Manila, which is just a few weeks back, I tried the German brand of botulinum toxin called Xeomin, and it's known for being a highly purified version of it, which means it is free from accessory proteins and other additives, reducing the risk of developing resistance to the treatment. Of course, this doesn't happen to everyone, but I do know of someone who's now in their 60s and has developed resistance to botulinum toxin. They've been doing the treatment for a few decades now, and the thing is, they were doing it like sometimes even before the 6-month mark hits, and that is usually a no-no. Doctors would prefer that you do it after 6 months since your last injection, and the brand that they were using apparently also had a lot of additives to it. So just to avoid that, these are some things to keep in mind as well. Make sure to space out your treatments properly and go for a purer form of botulinum toxin. So getting botulinum toxin injected into my masseter muscles really helps relax them and helps me with the struggle that I've been having of teeth grinding for years. I also get a little bit on my forehead and also on my crow's feet. I'm very animated when I talk, and that also translates on my facial expressions, which is why I get those injections to prevent myself from forming static wrinkles. But of course, I do go to a doctor that makes sure that everything still looks natural. I am able to move my eyebrows. See? It's not true that your face will just be forever frozen if you are getting botulinum toxin. You have to go to a doctor that understands how you want it to look. Of course, if that is the look that you are going for, you do you, but I want to be able to move my face, and that is why I go to Dr. Jennie and Dr. Oliver Diaz at Skin 101, because they understand how I want it to look like, and they haven't failed me in these years that I've been going to them. So just have a look. I'm still able to move my eyebrows, and I have expressions, like I can get mad, like, yeah. So it's just stopping me from really forming the deep lines. So this is just me trying to prevent my muscles from working overtime and making sure that they're relaxed, at least for the next 6 months, and buying myself time, making sure that they're not forming those wrinkles in like half a year. So normally it takes a week or two for you to see the effects of your botulinum toxin on your skin. But for me, the next day, it was starting to show less movement, and now it's just a few weeks later and you don't see the line at all, which makes me so happy. So Xeomin, I noticed that the effects can be quite quick. You can also see on the sides of my eyes when I smile. Normally I get 3 deep lines here when I'm smiling, and this time around it's just a very faint hint of a smile line, which I'm perfectly fine with, because I still want to show that I'm smiling with my eyes as well, like it's a genuine smile, but without the risk of developing the wrinkles right here. Now, let's talk about facials. I try to do it once or twice a month, especially when I'm in Manila, but it's also, of course, depending on my skin's needs. I don't really do anything drastic. I normally go for facials that are more calming and soothing, and the facials that do a lot of deep cleaning, because I do have very sensitive skin, and in the latter part of my 20s, I started developing adult acne, something that I didn't experience as a teenager, but now in my second puberty, I have gone full circle. I've been going through all of it. Which makes facials an essential part of my routine. So I do my skincare, I do my deep cleaning on my own at home, but of course it's much more different if there's an esthetician or a doctor doing it for you. Facials help with skin rejuvenation and maintaining that healthy glow, and most importantly, helping me clear breakouts. So at Skin 101 in Manila, I usually go for a deep cleansing facial that includes pricking and like really taking out all the gunk in your pores. It also helps remove all the dead skin cells, and after a facial, I do get a diamond peel as well. Here in Japan, I go to Nuwa and Omotesando for their Dermalogica facials, which are so gentle and relaxing. The massage that comes with it is absolutely divine. And their estheticians are also very knowledgeable and sweet. The first time I went to Nuwa was just a few months after moving here to Tokyo, and I was very stressed. I think my body was adjusting and I wasn't eating well. Like, I was eating a lot of junk, and of course my gut was really and I kept on drinking dairy, and I was eating a lot of sweets because I was so stressed, and that was translating on my skin. So I was breaking out a lot, and my skin was so raw and sensitive. It was very oily in some parts and very dehydrated in some parts, a really bad combination. And when I went to NUA, I wanted at first a deep cleaning facial, but their estheticians actually advised not to do that because my skin was overly sensitive at that time, and what it needed was more care and calm and gentleness. And so that was such a great move. They helped me with that problem, and my skin was much calmer after that. I really need to come back and pay them a visit, especially if I'm not flying back to Manila anytime soon. So for me, these treatments are all about maintaining the balance in my skin and giving me the confidence that my skin is being taken care of regularly by a professional, not just me. Another thing that I get done at Skin 101, especially after my facial and my diamond peel, is the Revlite Laser. So this is a laser that helps break down hyperpigmentation, especially after a breakout. So as I've said earlier, I've been struggling with breakouts since my late 20s, and of course all of those pimples would leave a mark. And every now and then, let's say I get one like on the nose or here on the chin, I think I have one right now. The moment it leaves my skin, the moment it dies out and dries up, then I know that there will be a tiny red mark. Usually my marks are red, which is so annoying because even though the pimple is not there anymore, it still looks like I have it because it's red. And the Revlite treatment is the one that helps break apart the melanin under that and make the process faster of the spot fading away. So this laser is a gentle treatment that evens out your skin tone, removes dark spots and hyperpigmentation. It also stimulates collagen production, and it improves your overall skin texture. Yeah, I think that's all, but it does a lot, this laser. Does it hurt? Well, it is a little bit uncomfortable. I would liken the sensation to a rubber band being flicked onto your skin. So it's not the most pleasant thing, but you'll live and you can tolerate it for sure. Some people have likened it to ant bites on your face, and the thing is, the sensation really does go away. So it's like flick and then it's gone, or like bite and then it's gone. It's so quick and it goes through your face really, really quickly, and they do 3 rounds of this in every treatment. And the results are totally worth it though. And now for something new that I've tried on my recent trip to Manila, Belotero Revive. So this is a hyaluronic acid injectable, a skin booster if you will, and it's perfect for rejuvenating and hydrating certain areas of your skin and your neck. So for me, that's especially here, the laugh lines, and this part of my neck in particular, because I do sleep curled up. I tend to go into a fetal position sometimes, especially towards the morning, and I used to notice that lines would indeed form here on my neck in the mornings, and it takes maybe around 30 minutes before they fade away. But now that I'm a little bit older, I notice that it's taking them much longer to fade. So sometimes it'll be like 11 o'clock or already midday, and I know it's like, oh, the lines are still there, and that only means one thing, that I'm losing hydration in this part of my body. And personally, I really want to take care of my neck because, of course, it's one of the places where early signs of aging tend to form. So aside from the face, also the neck, and of course the hands. So these are things that we need to be mindful of if we want to preserve the youthful look of our skin. So I had Belotero Revive injected in both areas. So here on these sides and also here on the neck. And let me tell you, the difference has been amazing. My neck looks absolutely smoother and my laugh lines look much more hydrated, giving them the appearance of not being that deep without adding much volume. These areas just look much more hydrated, leaving me with a more youthful look. So did it hurt? Well, of course, it's an injection. You would feel it, but it's nothing that's not tolerable. Again, it is, I say, a little bit higher when it comes to the pain scale compared to botulinum toxin. So because the injections are superficial, I think that you tend to feel it more. But nothing that you cannot handle, that's for sure. When it comes to the downtime, I'd say it's not so bad. On this side of my face, when we had the injections done on my laugh lines, there was a little bit of bruising here and here, so just 2. I think, how many injections did I get on my laugh lines? I think around 4 or 6. And then 2 bruised because, I don't know, I think it's just my skin. That's just how it is because I'm very sensitive. As for the neck, when Dr. Oliver did the injections here, of course, as expected, there was like a little bit of bumpy type of skin texture, which is very normal for any type of skin booster, especially if it's hyaluronic acid, because it tends to sit on top of your skin for a little bit. The injections are, after all, superficial. So it was natural, but then it faded away. I think on the third day it was completely gone, but for the first day, I was still able to go out, actually. After I had my treatments at Skin 101, I even went to Dr. Wine to meet up with friends. So I just put on some makeup on my face. For the neck, I really didn't do anything anymore, but people didn't really notice. And also the next day, when I went to Pilates, there was still a little bit of bumps here. Nobody really noticed. So I'd say downtime, probably very minimal. If you're gonna get a lot of it on your face, maybe a lot, like 2 days. So do it on a Friday night or during the weekend, just to be sure. But on the face, personally, there were no bumps at all. Just here on the neck. Maybe because the skin was much thinner here. I really love Bellaterra Revive, and I'll definitely get it again next time. So why do I do these treatments regularly? So for me, as I said earlier, it's really all about slowing down the aging process. We all have very different goals. Some people may want something that is more drastic. Some people might never want to do any type of treatment at all, and that is perfectly fine. My mom and my grandmother never really did treatments, and they are perfectly fine. In fact, a lot of people think that my mom is my sister because of how young she looks. Also my grandma, she just turned 80 and nobody believes it. Like she looks like she's in her 60s, honestly. I am, however, half Danish. My skin is from my dad's side. And as much as I love my heritage, I do notice that I tend to age faster compared to the Asian side of my family. The fully Asian side. It's true, Asian don't raisin, and I'm so jealous of my mom and my grandmother. So the goals for my treatments are definitely about preserving what I already have and maintaining a youthful glow. And of course, after going through those breakouts, and every now and then I would still get a pimple or two, something that I never experienced in high school during my first round of puberty, I just feel like I owe it to myself to really take care of my skin. And so this is something that I really want to take care of. Personally, I feel like when I look in the mirror these days, my current look is closer to how I looked like right before I got married. And I personally feel that that was my favorite era for my skin. And so that's something that I really want to strive for, to just keep it like that for as long as possible. But of course, when the time comes, I know that when I'm 60, I'm not gonna look 20, and that's perfectly fine. I'm investing now so that later it won't be as drastic, the aging process that I will be going through. If anything, I feel like we should all be transparent in what we're doing, especially when it's just about maintaining our skin. We also don't want to give the younger generation the idea that beauty is just something that is so unattainable. But of course, all of these have to be based on your own decision. Don't let any influencer or any celebrity push you into changing how you want to look or looking like them. I cannot tell you what you should be doing for your skin and for your looks, what you should be changing. It always has to come from you. What do you want? How do you want to look? And all of these are like personal decisions. I know there's also a movement of people who really shun away any type of beauty treatment, and that's perfectly fine if it's just about themselves. It's not about telling other people what they shouldn't be doing. So at the end of the day, whether you want to do these treatments is totally up to you. There is no right or wrong answer to this one. It's always just going to be about what you want. My journey has always been about understanding my skin and what works best for me. If you've got any more questions, drop them in the comment section below or send me a DM on Instagram. I'd be happy to answer them. So don't forget to like and share this video, and hopefully you will also subscribe for more content from me. I do a lot of different things: living in Japan, beauty, travel, food, being an expat. I talk about a lot of things, also journalism sometimes. So if those are up your alley, if that's something that you're interested in, I would love to have you be part of the family. And with that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Keep it classy, everybody.